smoke jumping through the stars.
Actually, we're kind of a neat assignment today to come down and talk to Jesse Spencer, starring in an NBC new drama called Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Jesse's playing, let's get this right, Lieutenant Matt Casey,
Yeah.
Truck 81.
That's
and
correct.
we got a great opportunity to come down here today and talk with you and some of the members of the cast a little bit about your experience and playing a firefighter.
Yeah.
A little bit about hopefully what that for you as an actor, as well as what it's going to do for us as a fire service. So,
Right.
if you've got a couple minutes, what would you like to tell the firefighters about the job and what maybe the public's perception about what we do and those types of things? Is there anything there you'd like to kind of pass along about your observations about working as an actor in our world and what we really do?
So in terms of fighting building fires, this is completely new to me. But what the one thing that really struck that I picked off straight off the bat was these guys are really, they're really open, honest, really lovely guys. They're very patient. I think in terms of people who have to deal with stressful situations, I think there's a certain personality type, that has to be able to deal with that. And these guys are just really, really lovely, open guys, and their personalities and their sense of humor really is really magnetic. And we love them. They're our boys now.
Great. Okay, still on the set here at Chicago Fire. Get a great opportunity to sit down and talk with the engineer at Truck 81. When you leave the set and talk to Hollywood or family or friends that aren't in the fire service, what do you tell them about the experiences that you're gaining from this in terms of what maybe the public or Hollywood's perception about being a firefighter and working in our career is versus what they may have seen on TV or in the movies before?
One of the actual firefighters that's on set with us shared with me the other day. He was saying how he was at a house and there was a big fire burning, and they knew that they had a 3-year-old kid somewhere in that building, and there was no way to get in. There was no decent entry point. They were waiting on hoses, and finally they get the water going and they go inside, and the kid doesn't make it, and then he has to go home to his 3-year-old daughter after having just pulled this young girl, a 3-year-old girl out of a fire who didn't make it, and be able to keep that in himself and not bring that out to his wife, and not try to upset her even more, and to hold that kind of stuff in. As actors, we all have our own personal problems. We all have things that we hold in, but I think the beauty of being a performer is that you get the opportunity to kind of vent that frustration through a different outlet, through a different human being, and in that way, I think it's kind of a healthy exercise of release. And with a lot of you guys, I was asking him, I was like, well, how do you compensate for something like that? How do you reconcile that in your head? And he was like, we happened to be at a baseball game, and he was like, you do stuff like this, and it's like you hang out with your boys, you go out to games, you forget about things, you try and just kind of get through the day. And I think that is almost as important to being a firefighter as actually fighting the fire. The fact that you have each other for those moments that no one else will understand and no one else will be able to kind of fully realize for themselves. And it's why I think it's easily the most significant brotherhood of men and women that I've ever had the pleasure of being around.
All right, Charlie, thanks for taking some time out of the set and work here to come spend a little bit of time with Fire Engineering to kind of talk about the show a little bit. And we've had a real fun day kind of talking to some of the other cast members about some of their roles and things like that. But you get to be that guy. You get to be the candidate, huh?
Yeah.
You get to be the new guy, the guy that all the nicknames and that
Fresh
come
meat,
out.
candy, I get a lot. What are the other ones? Yeah, God, this goes on and on.
I think the fire service is unique from other businesses in any way. You think you're finding some different...
Are you kidding me? A firefighter is, he's the ultimate hero and selfless completely beyond belief. You're literally going into a burning building where people could be hurt or dying, risking your own life to take them out. And that's the bottom line of the job. I don't know any other job like that. Other than God, being in the military, you know.
Sure.
It's
Maybe.
like
Okay. Yeah.
it's. I think it's one of the most selfless acts. It is.
All right, continuing our discussions with some of the cast and very important people down here on the stage at Chicago Fire. Chief, if you can just give us a little bit more into what your role is. I bet you it's kind of a challenging role, trying to marry Hollywood to the real world of firefighting here. Had fun with that?
Yeah, I'm having a blast. It's really because I'm a writer, and that's what I do. And here I'm a storyline consultant, and I work both with the writers and with the actors, hands-on and physical with the training, all the way from the storyline development to make sure that it's real somewhat. Almost every story it was inspired by real life stories throughout my career and careers of others that I've witnessed. But we make changes. It's not about just the story or the action. It's about the firefighters and the paramedics. And I think the average firefighter or medic around the country is going to be impressed. They're going to be represented well, going to be represented as hardworking, noble people with the cause. Yet it's reality. You know, you're going to have different types of personalities and personal problems that pop up, but the action is going to be real good. And the emotion, even more powerful than the action, I think, is the emotion. You'll notice that there's a lot more cop shows than there is fire shows, because fire shows are more expensive to make. The elaborate sets that are needed for each show, and much higher special effects budget. So that's kind of slowed down the number of fire shows throughout the years. So John Q. Public, they know what police officers do for a living, and they really don't know what firefighters do. There's been comedic shows. There really hasn't, I don't think there's ever been anything like what we're doing. It's a Dick Wolf production. It's second to none in just the money spent, the special effects, the stunt crews, the cast. It's bringing what we do to the public. They're going to be able to see through firefighters' eyes and kind of. We know, Forrest, when we go to work, we're working with 1,300 degree temperatures over our head. We're working in zero visibility. On NBC every Wednesday night, people will be able to see what we do.